is, of course, A, you know, chain feeding always helps,
Prepare
but
for
B,
battle.
it's going high ground when they're not ready to. Like, if they don't have the BKB, or they don't have the Aegis and Terrorblade, and then they try to go high ground, then of course, this game can get really difficult. But, yeah, again, for Viking, I love the idea of their draft. This ET complementing PA Zeus really well, the aggression from the Earth Spirit and the Nature's Prophet early on to collapse the map, Fury and then eventually buying Shad to keep the game going, the high ground hold of ET2s. Like, there's so many fun things in Vikings lineup, but it does take great positioning, great vision, great execution to pull off. And I think luckily for Viking, they can do that. So yeah, an exciting game for sure.
Well, exciting indeed, at least in the sense that this can maybe decide a potential incoming sweep, or if we get a tie, then of course this series will continue to stretch a little bit longer. And I think that's what we're also looking forward to. We talked about in the post-game draft about Viking GG maybe waking up a little bit to this series, kind of living up to the pace that Team Spirit's providing to them, because Live to Win didn't seem to live up to their expectations yesterday. Team Spirit, however, coming in with a completely different mindset here than their yesterday's opponents. So now that they're warmed up, everybody's ready. We get our second game underway with our bounty spawning. Treants trying to contest that bounty rune, but not able to do so. And it will be a 2 for 2. And remember yesterday, I'm gonna avoid alt-clicking objects or items or that.
Yeah.
But remember when that one bounty rune over here, they forgot to pick it up. Yeah, so it's a tiny bit of missed
already
gold.
better.
Oh yeah, already better. True. Well, Miposhka doesn't. He actually doesn't know yet that easy camp has been blocked by the sentry. There's Ops Ward also in the middle, and Aramis is probably aiming to just body. Actually, he doesn't need to body block. This is all. There's a sentry in the middle of the hard camp, so Miposhka's already done the work for Aramis. So no camps at all for this top lane.
The key thing here is Miposhka knows that he just needs to block up his own camp to prevent Aramis from, like, after this is the play, right? He'll grab this wave, he'll block it onto the next wave, and then when the lane's going back in the favor of Spirit, they'll pull. So Miposhka, he knows as a disruptor, he can pressure the Earth Spirit here with his Thunderstrike, and also Aramis, he has to roll away. So the creep wave going in front of the tower is suboptimal for the big game plan of this normal creep pool.
Yeah, and Yatoro still gets to connect his behind the tier 1 tower, and Tobi gets his in front. So this is a classic, just moving around the creep waves a little bit, but they still connect in the correct spots as well. Nobody farming on the tower, so no push either way.
And this bot lane though, when you see the offlane Void Spirit, especially against a Fury and PA, like with the points in Resonant Pulse, like he just shouldn't die. The only way he dies is if he ever like wastes the pulse, or he misses an Aether Remnant when the PA jumps on him, and then suddenly there's potential kill threat. But with 4 armor, 2 points from the ring, and then 2 just built into the hero, he fares really well.
Nicely played there from Collapse. He actually, Seleri tried to TP out. His teleport scrolls on cooldown, so you ain't going home and coming back with your second
and he has
spell.
no mana.
He's only got 1.
Oh,
so
yeah,
now he's
sad.
stuck.
Oh well, mate.
Stuck in this lane. Or if he does, he's gonna have to do the long walk of shame.
Odds on TPing back, buying a smoke and running back slightly quicker. Not happening, by the way.
Guess he's gonna have to wait a little longer. Collapse is tipping. Boom.
Oh, Seleri just killed himself.
Well, Seleri's.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. First blood was so
That
bad.
was inevitable.
But now, okay, now we got the tips.
Yeah, I'd say that tip from that tip from so bad, it's kind of underwhelming. Where like, you know, Seleri kind of wants to die here, so realistically in the grand scheme of your tip game, it's kind of like subpar, because Seleri does gain something from it, i.e. the TP he didn't have. But alas, just some tip analytics for you.
Tiny bit, not too much though.
Yeah, just enough.
At least to get our early game going, because this is very standard, just farming up, tiny bit of trading here and there. Maybe a few more minutes. I would maybe dare to say, like, after the bounty runes have spawned, maybe we got some action on these lanes, since I think these are very level dependent as well on how things start rolling out. Zeus capable of giving that +1 for every fight with the Zeus ultimate damage, and opening for the Earth Spirit and the Elder Titan. TB at 300 HP. The roll in comes in from Aramis, and actually they're going to fight way earlier than we were supposed to think they were going to. Tobi also falls for Miposhka. Aramis trying to get the kill on the disruptor, slapping away, but he's got a lot of stick charges. Miposhka might just come out on the strong end because he's got his Thunder Strike available. Earth Spirit rolls in Aramis. A Fairy Fire comes down. Miposhka should win this duel in the end. There we go. Double kill for the disruptor.
Miposhka is now the carry. Terrorblade, due to the changes, will be shifting to that 5 role, so Miposhka can be leveling up.
At least they need to recognize the disruptor is the real Iron Man.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward for Team Spirit though. Like yatoro trying to man up. Maybe he had a stick or something to make the outplay, but yeah, just fully hard committing to an off-lane ET who can just right-click you and not care about your armor is
Seleri
somewhat annoying.
Keeping mid. I get a quick pick off on the Invoker, but boom, runs out of mana. Does have bottle charges to refill himself. Meanwhile, those 3 points of Quas and the Tango has got 26.3 HP regen. Good luck trying to kill the Invoker a second time. But I like the aggression with this NP teleporting mid with the Blightstone and allowing to get this early damage. This is not even 5 minutes in, and this mid tower is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is the key thing from the 2 lineups. Viking, their rotations come from their support duo, the Furin and the Earth Spirit. But on the flip side of Team Spirit, their rotations will be coming from their off lane and then their mid. So if the Viking can utilize the early rotations that the supports can have in the game, where supports actively want to move like pre-5, you can then pressure the active cores on Team Spirit, and then suddenly those active cores that need to make those 5-minute plus rotations can't because they're already hindered from the early Viking. So that's what we need to look out for in this game, is just how Viking utilize their ability to play the map slightly earlier than the likes of an Invoker. Oh,
really full good combo comes out from TORONTOTOKYO, and boom is out for the count.
Middle tower is under
good old
attack.
nighttime game.
80 HP, he's going to get stunned up, and Collapse is trying to get to this PA, but no, right click comes out, and he's tanking the tower, and he's dead.
Have played your part.
Really wanted that PA kill, and he wasn't too far away from it. Looked like he actually missed 1 or 2 of his hits, or then he just didn't get the second one off at all. Ended up running on a spot, basically, just getting... PA just throws a dagger, walks away. It's such an annoying feeling. You're like, so bad. Meanwhile, rotates to mid as well. Now we got a 3 versus 2 action. But I feel spot here some movements. There's an ops ward on the cliff. They see the Swallow moving in.
But they also see the ward, so get it, boys. There you go. Pressure the Terrorblade, forcing him to the jungle, giving Tobi complete free farm. But because the Void Spirit goes aggressive bottom, PA nearly dies. Earth Spirit TPs in at the tail end of the fight. It allows for this Terrorblade to go back to top lane with confidence. He's now meted, playing out his lane. And this entire top side of the Dire map is completely uncontested. Team Spirit then apply pressure to mid lane, locking in 4 of the 5 heroes and Viking into this kind of bottom portion of the map. Once again, allowing the big win condition of Team Spirit Terrorblade to have a completely free game in regards to his farm.
Yeah, he's level 6 now, 34 CS, not the worst time. Look at net worth in a minute, maybe not right now. I don't think there's too massive changes, except that the CS department as a whole is slowly sliding for Team Spirit's favor. Shad's courier dies, there's nothing on it, but that's a tiny bit of extra gold for Team Spirit. 5 per player. And look at that, Invoker has lined up a Witched Blade, so... Is that the slow with the poison debuff, something like that?
It is the anti-magic item, right? No, it's not. Causing your attack poison. Yeah, no, so I'm thinking the other item. Yeah, this is. So it causes your next attack to apply a poison for 3 seconds, slowing by 25 and dealing 1 extra intelligence.
Alright, yeah. So that's actually pretty good on an Invoker because it also gives the int damage. It's a tiny bit of extra.
But it gives projectile speed, so I'm thinking like Cold Snap plays here, where you have like Solar Crest plus Cold Snap, and you're like, pew, 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 and they're just like, ah! You know, I can see that. Kind of cool.
Connecting like Venge missiles.
Sounds really fun. But isn't there an item that...
Now we can, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna quickly find the item I want. Like,
I don't want to do it right now. We can
Mage Slayer, there we go.
Mage Slayer, that was the one that reduced the magic damage.
Dude, that item's gonna be so good. Especially against a Zeus, that's gonna be so fun to pick up.
Tobi looking for the stomp. Miposhka walks out. Sobad comes in with the crown onto Seleri. Get the stun on this Nature's Prophet, and Collapse follows in. Make sure they get the kill happening. Miposhka, however, does fall to Boom's ulti. Picking up a kill from next to his fountain.
Dire's top tower
have a tiny bit of extra dosh flowing in the direction of the Zeus. 2,800 net worth. PA and Terrorblade are almost even, both sitting at 3k. And Elder Titan is the most farmed hero on
Zeus
Viking
in the mid lane.
for now, but Zeus, yeah, Zeus is out. It doesn't really take too long for that kill to take place. Comes the Nature's Prophet.
But do you see what I mean about the rotation potential on both teams? Hold on, as... Oh my god, the slap!
That's a lot of damage from Tobi, but he barely walks out. Seleri comes in, tries to get the blocks out, and the crown, it will stun up Seleri, and it's also going to stun Tobi, and ET also going to fall here by the looks of it. He does dodge a couple of those hits on the high ground, but it's not going to be enough, and there's a glimpse as well. Aramis, no mana for a rollout, and that is a heavy price for Viking GG to pay this early on.
They kind of got baited by the slap, just like us. It's like, oh, the slap, and then the Sprout didn't connect with the Invoker, and unfortunately ET just couldn't get close enough to connect that second slap. But whew. And like what I was mentioning, it's the idea that early on Viking, they utilized their Earth Spirit, their Fury, just to try and apply pressure to the map. But now you get to like the 9-minute mark, this Void Spirit, he just comes to mid, and that chain kind of, you kill the Zeus, you kill the ET, you just keep getting these kills. It is so scary because this entire game now is just being played in the mid-bottom portion of the map. If you look at the net worth again, this TB, he is slowly starting to build a lead on a PA that of course needs to farm a Battle Fury before she can even question being in the same farming capacity of a Terrorblade.
Agreed. And also that triple net worth lead on all cores for Team Spirit is proving to be it can be a big factor, because we did see that in the previous game as well. They had 2 of their cores doing a great job in the early game, and this applies to early pressure, and TB with Metamorph just walks out of nowhere with Collapse, so they take down Seleri, and they are gonna get to push this bottom tower. Meanwhile, are they also setting up for mid?
So in the mid lane, it was a quick skirmish where Miposhka did use Static Storm onto the Zeus, initiating the fight, and then Tobi and Aramis had to come back in and save the Zeus. TORONTOTOKYO did nearly fall, but it was kind of a lot of spells used, but nothing happened. And then meanwhile, like you said, in the bot lane, TB was able to walk down,
and Seleri just TP's right in front of Collapse. I don't think he even saw that happening, and he does get the wards down, but does he lose his life in the process? Looks like he will. Collapse gets that one, and he's on a dominating spree right now.
And the TB turns up.
Boom is also caught on the TB with the last second of Metamorph, comes in to punch in one right click, but it's enough so bad.
Value, by the way. This is easy value.
First they got the kill on Seleri in bottom, they got the tier 1 tower with the Metamorph, they come in for another Seleri kill, and then they kill off Boom as well with the Metamorph still on for the last second. So yeah, that's got to be one of the most value Metamorphs I've ever seen in an early game. And they spot Tobi, glimpse back home. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Happy birthday.
Dire structures are
Aramis
fortified.
is all alone in mid right now. They're gonna have to sack this tower.
Structures are fortified.
Even willing to fight this at all. Seleri is pushing out bottom. PA farming the jungle in top. So far behind, and net worth is a 4k lead for Team Spirit.
Yeah, just the early moves from Team Spirit really are shutting down Viking. It's the fact that their own jungle has been so open on Team Spirit, and Viking, they have to react so heavily to these engagements. Like, this disruptor, these glimpses, like Viking, if they commit to a fight, if they ever misstep, they get so punished so quickly, and especially when it's only 1 tower difference. Actually, it's equal towers fallen. Both safe lane towers have fell, but it's just the kills redoing it. You're 4 for 12.
Collapse is also off to a great start in this game. He's 4-1-4, this offlane Void Spirit. Like you said, we've only seen him play this the last time a month ago in a previous tournament. And since most of those bans were targeted on him, so he's doing a great job. But there's also a Static Storm used up on Tobi. Half of his HP is already gone. Miposhka, glimpse available. Holding on to it for now. I mean, I like that zigzag movement from Tobi. Not really forcing them to use it. Seleri, however, not being so lucky. Collapse is relentlessly chasing him up, and that'll actually nice dodge as well. And gets the stun out. However, he's going to end up going a little bit too deep here. Gets another jump out, the Urn heal, and he doesn't die to the tower.
That was so close. That was so disgustingly close.
Collapse. What a player. That was way too close to comfort. But he lives. He lives nevertheless. He gets another kill, stays alive, keeps that streak up and going. Another casualty for Viking GG. At least they hold their mid tower, but they don't have Thunder God's Wrath for another 100 seconds. Tobi still hasn't hit that ulti point.
But interestingly enough, though, if we look at the Terrorblade, it's the fact that he went for. Like, if you look at his quick buy, he's not going for any items that really make him, survive against the Zeus. He's playing on the fact that he's Invoker or the Void Spirit or the Disruptor will find the Zeus first, can start the fight by killing him, and then he gets to play a game. And this will be the type of build, the SMY, the Butterfly, he can crush a PA. But it's also the type of build that in 15 minutes time we can be going, why does the Terrorblade not have a BKB? Why does it, But it also gives the Terrorblade a way to play out the late game, because if he rushes to buy BKB right now and starts winning fights in the moment, they're not fights that let you take high ground, that let you win the game. So I can fully respect he's itemizing to deal with the Zoo, the PA for the early fights, and then eventually might get a BKB for that 10-second value later on. But Tobi in the bot lane, smoked up, gone on.
Yeah. Static Storm, Cold Snap,
He's dead.
Pretty.
Barely.
No mercy. And the tornado as well on the Aramis. He just rolled in and slowly just trying to crawl his way out. He's gonna go in again and attempting for it. He does get the Cold Snap from Invoker. He ends up going down, but he does do a lot of damage, and he might just pay off. But Viking, they need to get these. Miposhka chased up, the Magnetize runs out. Seleri's getting body blocked by his own creep wave. So bad comes in as well. The roots will connect, and boom, he's only throwing in some saving lightning bolts, but he is not able to save his friend from trouble. Here comes the Elder Titan as well, but Team Spirit, they're already out.
Why does Witchblade cost no mana to use? And why is it 9 seconds? What?
Wait, no mana? Okay, that's really good.
What? He used it like 4 or 5 times. Dealing 1 extra
cooldown, 3-second debuff.
He has 81 int. He does 81 damage per second for 3 seconds. It's an Orb of Venom on steroids, paired with a Cold Snap.
Yeah.
And a 25% slow, which doesn't... What?
Sunstrike on Tobi, doesn't quite connect. Oh, dissimulate. Back to safety for Collapse. Tobi, Seleri, Aramis waiting to go in. Get some stray hero of Team Spirit. They do have the Zeus ulti, so if they get a quick jump in, if Viking connect all of their spells at the same time on a singular target, they can get a kill. But that's if everything connects. Hello? Stun on Seleri, finally pops out. Collapse is moving in onto Tobi. Duels into the air. They got the remnant, the roots are there. He's just stuck. He's just standing still. As Dissimulate comes through, Willow with another burst, and that is a lot of damage onto Tobi, and there's nowhere to run. He doesn't even get the stomp up. He's just gonna die. Seleri's also gonna fall. 2 pickoffs from a Team Spirit. Absolutely on a roll right now, this dire team.
Yeah, Viking, they just can't fight into what Team Spirit has. Team Spirit, they have this beautiful lineup of just counter aggression. They have backline catch, and Viking, we mentioned it during the draft, like, what is the hero that stands up front and can start the fight? They have these skirmishing heroes, but it's all built around early rotations of Fury and Earth Spirit, and then the PA scaling into the game. The ET needs to cover the Zeus, but they just don't have this kind of this beautiful construct exist, because Team Spirit is breaking down the ability of Viking to slowly position themselves correctly to take a good fight. So yeah, I just love the way that Team Spirit are playing this game super up in the face, punishing the fact that PA has to farm for so long. Terrorblade's even joining in now and again, but just look at this Terrorblade's farm. He has S and Y, soon to be one big component of Butterfly, the Eagle song. Like, it's 17 minutes into the game, and he will not give any cares about PA shortly.
The 18-minute 10K happening again. Getting really thickety thick on this Terrorblade, and that's going to be a big nuisance. And he's just feeling the confidence going straight up Butterfly. Everyday go-to item, but that does spell a little bit about confidence. No, but again, like I said, it's the idea that the next big timing from Viking is simply the PA getting like Battle Fury Deso +1 and maybe taking a fight. So if TB can already cover that with this Butterfly, it allows him to not waste any BKB charges. He relies on his team stopping the Zeus from ever pressuring him. And then when we get to that first Roshan that they contest, that's when it'll be like Butterfly BKB potentially. And then he's going to be a happy little chappy going into high ground with BKB 10-second, Aegis, Butterfly, SMY. Like, yeah, I think Team Spirit are really playing out this game so well to punish the quirkiness and the greed from Viking.
like Viking, they're kind of getting into a position right now where, at best, they can just start
Radiant's
pushing out
bottom
waves,
tower
skipping
is
waves,
under
and
attack.
trying to dodge Team Spirit. Because in the pure 5-on-5, they don't really bring anything to the table.
Metamorph up.
Radiant
Tower,
structures
tier 2
are
tower going
fortified.
down, and bottom glyph will be used as well.
Buying time.
Radiant's
Collapses.
bottom tower is under attack.
Collapse is whipping himself with that extra movement speed. Finds a stray Tobi. And the hunt is on. The hunt is literally on right now.
Radiant's
The
bottom
root
tower
connects.
is
The
under
glimpse
attack.
out into secondary root.
Tower is
Yep.
under attack.
Beautiful.
We can, in no way can we say that Miposhka knew he was going to do that. He was simply glimpsing, but my god, that was amazing. The
Dyer's
pure
middle tower
kawinky
is
dink.
under
That
attack.
was, yeah.
Okay, this is the moment where we need to have comms, you know, because that would have shown, like, Miposhka's like, two things. A, guys, I've perfectly done the maths. I'm glimpsing him into another route. Or B, oh,
Radiant's bottom
yeah,
tower is
look,
under
he's in the
attack.
route. He's in the route.
Yeah.
Dyer's top tower is
Yeah,
under
the
attack.
moment when you hear like davai, davai.
It's amazing.
Good
Beautiful
things
stuff.
are happening when you hear the perkiness in their voice.
But it's beautiful. I don't know. Team
If
Spirit playing
that
so
was
well.
calculated, if that was calculated, hands down, that was beautiful. But we can just sit and ponder and think, I'll just take it. That was a beautiful play. Nevertheless, I'll take that away from him. However, Miposhka glimpsing the Seleri away. And do they actually see where he went? Because Toronto-Tokyo is hunting a little bit.
The seeds
Okay,
of
okay. Static Storm used. They bait one ulti. TV. There's a roll in from Aramis. The teleport comes in from Collapse, and he's instantly collapsing on top of the Zeus, trying to get this kill happening, and it will. Boom is out. Collapse walks out as a victor, and Shad gets yoled up into the air. They're gonna find Tobi, and suddenly it's a 1 versus 3 scenario. Aramis is just wallowing at the back lines and watching what is happening. Shad, slow, agonizing death at the hands of Team
Dyer's
Spirit.
middle tower is under attack.
And Miposhka was able to dodge the Aramis Earth
Seleri
Spirit.
guys on the other side of the
Tokyo
map
finds
as
a kill
well.
on Seleri, yeah.
Like that smoke from Viking, it's them trying to break
Dyer's
down
middle
the elite
tower
that Spirit
has
has by
fallen.
finding that one quick pickoff and then moving away. But then they waddle into a Terrorblade who's like, oh, hi guys, this is my jungle now. And Miposhka's in a nice position as well just to add that disconnect. And Void Spirit jumps onto the Zeus. Guess what? No fight can even happen. So Viking, they try to go for a quick build. Pick off, they've got 4 kills. They haven't got a kill in the last like 10 minutes, I think. So they have to try and make a play. They can't do nothing, but unfortunately, they just find the wrong hero. Team Spirit now instantly get a couple kills from that and start moving into Roshan. Do they fully commit here? Well, they can. They have Metamorphosis.
All right, so the last time, the last time they got a kill was 9 minutes into the game. Now they might have a chance for it. Into the Roche pit they go. Aramis will quickly fall down. They get Miposhka, so there we go. But do they need to get so much more because Tobi's out. They're going to lose Toronto-Tokyo in the process. The does fly through from Seleri, but the Aegis has been picked up by yatoro.
Dyer's bottom tower
But being
is
a
under
2
attack.
for 2 for 3 by the looks of it, as Collapse finishes off the last of these treants, and our fight recap says following. Yeah, 3 for 2 in favor of Team Spirit. Aegis picked up, buyback used on a support. I was about to say, the last time they scored a kill was 9 minutes into the game, and that was Miposhka dying.
But now they got a kill. You know, they're back on the board, boys.
They got
Viking
2.
are back. Yeah, they did. They got 2. They've clean. But it's still such a rough
Still holding
position, right?
themselves in.
Like, let's not try and beat around the bush here. It's about that. The kills aren't the kills that lead to
Dyer's
big
top
moments in
tower is
Vikings
under
next
attack.
10 or so minutes. I think we have to look at PA right now and her quick fight. This is the story of the game. If you're a Viking fan, it's all right. We can't really ever take a fight. Maybe if Shad gets a rapier and we get that big pickoff. That's what Viking need to play for right now. When Team Spirit come to that high ground, that tier 3 area, they have the blink, they have the dagger, the Zeus, and the ET. They can blow heroes up.
They're trying to fuck around with the BKB. Aramis misses the roll, but the Zeus ulti connecting through, and Shad, he's trying to find some damage, and they might be able to. Trying to look for yatoro. He's trying to sunder right now, and Shad actually takes down Toronto-Tokyo. BKB full runs out, and there should be the sunder. There we go. So that's going to be Shad maybe going down. Maybe is the big question here because he takes down another. And here comes Seleri. Nice body block on yatoro, preventing this TV from getting anything, but Miposhka comes in again and collapses. Meanwhile, cleaned out the rest of the crew. He's taken down Boom once again. Shad falls in the hands of yatoro and Seleri as a dieback on the NP. Meanwhile, Collapse. This youngster keeps on bullying with this Tobi. Elder Titan. only surrounds and mules into the air, renders down to the ground to assimilate. That should be end of the him. But then again, Aramis comes in with a roll, tries to rescue his buddy, trying to get that high five to connect, and Yatoro's illusion ends up killing Tobi.
Yes, they high five! Finally, we got a high five from a player who's being like all up in your face, and the other team's like, I don't want to high five you, and they did it. Yes. Thank you, Aramis. Thank you.
That was a moment of just pure innocence. They both sat still. One person waving his hand, the other connecting, and
the euphoria.
Make love.
Simple high five. And the game is so rough for Viking. Like this TB just isn't dying. Like Shad,
we can show you some graphs.
Yeah, like I love the fact that Viking had the confidence to make that play. That they jumped in with the Earth Spirit. They instantly blew up the Invoker at the start. But it's that +1 desire that they had, where Void Spirit instantly drew away the Zeus from the fight. PA then runs to the right-hand side of the fight. And when you're 10k down plus, you have to be a cohesive unit, and they just can't do that. They can't protect the backlines. Void Spirit is playing phenomenally at preventing Zeus from entering these fights.
Oh, Toronto-Tokyo just instantly tornadoes the older Titan into the air, connecting on another one as well. Team Spirit, they might end up losing their disruptor, but Seleri is the main target they're going for, and he's out of play. Shad's being chased up. BKB is available. Sunstrike comes through. It does connect onto the Earth Spirit, and Aramis is out, and Shad gets feared up. He never gets his BKB up into the roots. Does seem to get the jump off at the end, but he's going to get stunned up, and Yatoro finishes the job. Shad is out of the way. Tobi is on the run, but Miposhka, keeping a high heels, gets that kinetic field out in way, so blocks Tobi's escape completely, and they are going to look for the last one. It's going to be Boom far away, but they're just going to let him pass. They'll be happy with taking 4 and not losing. Okay, this is a anticlimactic fight recap. It only shows the death of the ET, but 4-4-0.
This is
Team Spirit's playing so well.
Zeus has not been able to play the game, and it's
under attack.
He's just it feels like a position for Zeus, and that says nothing towards Boom. It's just the way that Team Spirit has played this game, where they shut down the map so quickly. There's only enough farm for one core, and as I say this, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like Boom just can't get anything. He does complete. No, he doesn't. No, he's still 600 gold away from his Ags. It's such a difficult position.
No Nimbus.
So, okay, Seleri has the Shard. Look at bot wave. This is what I mean about White Furion. If the game isn't as over as it is right now, like he can actually keep wave pushed out by himself. You now look towards mid lane. What is this? Imagine if this game was like a 5k lead to Team Spirit. This game would be so different, but the fact Spirit have gained 18k in 26 minutes, they are now rushing it.
Interesting BKB from Toronto-Tokyo. Collapses instantly, pipping him to that.
It's just, making sure it works. The classic memes. What else is it?
Yeah. My mouse 5 button is not working. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Still, Team Spirit, they're happy, just taking the tier 3 tower, walking their way out.
But look at the minimap though. Miposhka drew this line of, look at our 3 wards we have. They have 1 in every lane, showing when they're going to get to leave. So Team Spirit, they do not want to allow Team Viking even any access to the map.
Tobi's smoke popped when very close to the Dark Willow, but unable to find anyone right now. Will reveals himself in mid.
Radiant's bottom barracks
placed down on the cliff. They might have just caught a small glimpse of this Dark Willow, but still moving out of vision. These are like small important things, kind of knowing where the wards are, if there are any wards. How to play around the vision.
This takes insane confidence from Viking though, like how far behind they are. Them even having the ability to make a move on the map, like most teams wouldn't even want to do this. And this is why Viking is able to have such competitive performances in games which do seem quite doom and gloom. And I'm not saying this is going to help them back into the game in any way, but it's like the fact that they were able to still make the move, have the look, and Zeus, he's now got his Ags, and they need to play on the fact that when Terrorblade walks to high ground, he still doesn't have a BKB yet. Maybe there can be that one miracle play where they have that perfect sleep into the Nimbus, into the Zeus, so TB just blows up, PA suddenly gets Rapier, the second Aegis goes to Viking, and like that's the storyline right now that they need to play for. But Tobi then dies.
NATO connection cancels the TP off the Elder Titan. Meanwhile, they are moving still in the jungle. Aramis might have to leave this area as well. PA already teleported away. PA has lined up a Rapier. And we know that this is the right and seems like only course of action as well, because
look at Terrorblade, my man. He's gone for every single item. To like, he's got the butterfly MKB for the PA, the SMY and the Skadi for the Zeus. And now after all of that, he's like, you know what? I could sell the one now, guys. I can buy a BKB. Like, he is by far the scariest Terrorblade that I have seen
Radiant's
in all
middle
of
tower is
the
under
year.
attack.
Why did you make an enemy?
Casual quick kill here
no
for
reason to
that was actually
listen.
Collapse taking a solo kill. Didn't even need Miposhka. He's got all of his spells off cool. 11 112 off lane Void Spirit. Not every day do you see such a successful Void Spirit in the off lane in terms of KDA. He's got an Eternal Shroud also picked up. Very nice new item. Spell Lifesteal. Really buffs up this hero a lot more. Nice magic resistance. Give you some extra mana. Though it's an int hero, so you still end up having a big mana pool nevertheless. But you are bursting a lot of spells out there, so it's nice to have some of that coming back in your way. Shad, however,
Just runs in.
yeah, he might have to dodge this stun with a BKB. No, he's not going to use it at all. The line of friends of his allies help him out, and he does almost fall, but he's not dead yet. Yatoro, he's got the ultimate form up as well, and that metamorph. That was one hit.
Hey, it was, one hit away from death in fairness, but yeah, he doesn't get to play Dota. How far away from Rapier?
He hits for like 400 damage and then maybe a casual MKB proc, and it's like, alright. Looking.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So,
attack.
are you ready for game 3? This is such
No,
scary
Panda, we
team
have to
spirit
talk
on
about
the
how
field
Viking
right
can
now.
come back. He can't be like this.
This is such a scary team spirit
is
team
so
on the field
scary.
right now. They're playing so well,
Radiant's
communicating,
middle
coordinating,
is falling.
everything so well. And like I was waiting for Team Spirit, for Viking and GG to kind of get their engine running and waking up for this one, but
Radiant's
it's another
bottom
repeat
barracks are under
from the previous game pretty much. They just can't play this
Radiant's
game because the
bottom
other one
barracks
is doing
has fallen.
everything for them.
Yeah, I think Team
Radiant's
Spirit, the
top
preparation
tower
that
is
they had
under
coming into
attack.
this series, just the understanding of Viking. They played one best of 3 on this new patch. They showcased a very skirmishing, very annoying drafting concept, and Viking have continued to try and execute that in coming into this grand finals. Team Spirit, on the other hand, they've gone, well, okay, we'll let you have your run at us heroes, your kind of quirky, no real cooldown type heroes, but we're just going to have these really big anti-aggression heroes, or the big backline jump. And I think in this game especially, the easiest way to describe it is Viking fell victim to the we must pick Zeus into TB, and then they just didn't have the final pick to cover the type of lineup they had. So again, just amazing drafting from Team Spirit in these 2 games so far. But I think Viking, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board for game 3, especially because they need to find a way to enter some of these games, because Team Spirit is just not allowing them the type of starts that they had, especially in their semi-final match.
Agreed. They are setting a real statement here, Team Spirit, that is.
They are crushing it.
9 to 42 doesn't really
We got
leave
to the third.
much
We got 1k gold per minute. We got to the stat hype.
the actual kill. Yeah, and it's going to increase even more as this tier 3 tower is about to go down.
The stat's now
1500
dead though.
HP.
Stat's now dead.
Is this the illusion? Is this the illusion push time now for Yatoro? Just keep sending illusions on the tier 3 tower until it eventually falls. They're pinging Roshan.
One of my favorites.
And it's a cheese.
Sorry for all those F10k betters for Viking who barely haven't even hit 10 at 32, by the way.
Sometimes that happens. Then again, Collapse. He's revealed Shad. He's revealed Tobi, Aramis, Boom, and they detect him, and he jumps out. And he also got the jump out just before the silence came out from DL. There is Spirit. Miposhka drops very low, so that is also very low on HP. Yatoro picks up all the stuff. There's a G still inside the pit, actually. And Aramis, he was there, now he's not. Blame Glimpse, BKB to use to dodge it, and Collapse will finish off Boom. This Void Spirit is just on the heels of this Zeus time and time again. And Shad, I think this was the only reason Viking GG haven't still called the game, was to get that Rapier up on PA, fight with it, see where it goes, but they don't seem to get that ready either.
They just have the
Team
space to
Spirit
farm
are just
it.
gonna rush down mid.
Yeah, but props to Viking. They haven't GG out yet. They've got short respawns because they're all pretty low level. Maybe they don't use the Earth Spirit buyback. They'll try and play around that, but This is 100% Team
Radiant's
Spirit.
top tower is
They need to
under
run into the
attack.
fountain right now to lose this game. A really amazing
top
performance from
tower
Team Spirit
is
once
falling.
again. 2 games in a row now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
On a completely other side note, the TB avatar is breaking avatars for other heroes if you toggle it. So I don't know what's going on. There's some graphic. I'm not sure if that's my VFX just breaking or tended, but I see a lot of black boxes.
That's unfortunate.
Nevertheless, tier 3 tower down. Top lane is open for the taking, and that will be mega creeps. This does leave Mike and Gigi alive for a few more seconds, maybe a few more minutes. Who knows if even further from that, but
I will say Spirit, they are playing so damn like patiently in the idea of just, all right guys, let's not, we don't need to throw anything, we don't need to do anything too silly, so they're just slowly moving around the map, farming up.
up indeed.
Do you have a weird, oh no, I had a weird bug on my screen that looked like my monitor had broken. On Willow's face on the top bar, there was a massive like a line of dead pixels, and I was like, my monitor?
Radiant
I was-
are scanning.
Yeah, toggle Terrorblade. Just there's these weird black thingies that are appearing every time I click on the Terrorblade,
I don't have,
and it refreshes if I change to another hero. Okay, but there's
Patch when?
something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong that I've never seen before. However, Shad, we're out. BKB is available, but he would love to save it. Gonna have to use it anyway, and he jumps to his friend, and the Sunstrike doesn't have a teleport scroll. He just came here. He literally just arrived here. And he's out. Just punishment.
again, Viking just not GGing out. Like this is, I respect them so much. Oh,
There we go.
Oh, no, okay, maybe
Literally
not.
just
I'll take it back.
there it
take
is. That means, ladies and gents, the series is still going, but Team Spirit is at championship point. 2-0. One more, and Team Spirit are looking at a clean sweep against Viking GG right now.